Hi, everybody. We're back to offer more recommendations for books, movies, music, and more that you can check out from the Carmel Clay Public Library. I'm Catherine, and I'm joined today by Erin and Susan, and we have some great new picks to share with you all. So, Erin, tell us about what you've been reading.
Thanks, Catherine. I have been reading the Silo series by Hugh Howey. It's gotten a lot of buzz right now because Apple TV adapted it into a TV show. And so I'm currently on the second book, but I would love to talk to you about the first book. The first book is called Wool. It's rather long. It's one of the longer books that I've read, but if we have, sci-fi fantasy viewers, it'll be the length is perfectly fine if you are well versed in sci-fi fantasy. Do you want what's the plot about?
Very brief with no spoilers.
Okay, brief with no spoilers. Okay, the plot of the first book, Wool, is the human race is contained in one underground silo, and outside is not hospitable. So it's kind of, at first, it seems like your run-of-the-mill post-apocalyptic sci-fi novel, speculative fiction. You soon find out that the people of this silo, it's around 150 levels. There's no elevator. There's one staircase. You have to climb the stairs to get anywhere you want to go, and you can't go outside. One of the main laws of the society is if you say that you want to go outside, you will go outside to clean. And this can either be like a punishment. So if you break the laws, you get sent outside, or if you just say, I want to go outside, you go outside. And they use wool pads to clean the sensors. And these sensors are cameras showing us the outside world. There are actually no windows in the silo, just these screens that are projected in certain cafeterias throughout the silo. The main characters we follow over a couple of years. First starts with the sheriff of the silo and his wife, and then over a couple of years we meet a new sheriff. Her name is Juliet, and the bulk of the book is her experience as sheriff of the silo, and then her experience of, she starts to feel like some things aren't right. She starts to question some things. So we explore her journey of just trying to figure out the truth of why they're in the silo and can we actually go outside. So it's excellent. I actually watched the TV show first, if you can believe it. Now it is on Apple TV Plus. So right now it's not on DVD. So the TV show, unfortunately, we cannot access through the library, but trust me, you are not missing anything. The audiobook of Wool is fantastic. Having that I watched the show first, I will say it is a little different. They do make some changes for television purposes, but I felt like the show was very true to the spirit of the book. My cat is deciding to scratch on his little tree. He also watched the show with me. He liked it. And then reading the book. So basically, I thought the TV show was very in spirit of the book, but I really think the book adds so much more. So you're really not going to miss out on anything if you don't watch the show. Highly recommend the audiobook. We do have it in Libby as well as Hoopla. So it's all three books are instantly available via Hoopla, audiobook and ebook. And then of course we have physically in the library. Thanks so much for letting me share about this book. I'm super excited. What are y'all reading right now?
Well, I am actually a huge enthusiastic fan of Ariel Lawhon's books. She writes with strong historic women doing amazing things in challenging times. And she accomplishes the same in her new novel, The Frozen River. Martha Ballard was a midwife who lived in the 18th and 19th century, and she actually kept a daily diary for over 3 decades, which has provided historians really great insight into the lives of the early settlers of this nation. And so Ms. Lawhon uses these historical references to craft a compelling story and a mystery. The story begins with the body of a man found dead in the river, and Martha is called to a local tavern to determine how that man died. Martha then determines that the man was hung prior to going to the river, but she's contradicted by a newly graduated Harvard Medical School doctor who claims the injuries were sustained after the body got into the river. And there are many who would like this whole episode just to go away, but Martha is undeterred. This book is a page turner. You will meet great, wonderful townspeople and other historical figures. So be sure to read the historical note at the end after you've read the book, And be sure, it will give you a whole new appreciation for Martha Ballard and her legacy. Really, really interesting. So check out The Frozen River in print, ebook, and downloadable audiobook at the library. What about you, Catherine?
I love Wool and I love Frozen River. So those are 2 great recommendations. I read something different. I read The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins, and I'm going to do my worst, best North Carolina accent. Ruby McTavish, Callahan, Woodward, Killer, Kenmore. This woman has been married so many times. She was not only North Carolina's richest woman, but its most infamous. And Ruby McTavish was the survivor of a childhood kidnapping and married 4 times, with each of those husbands mysteriously dying. When she passes away, she leaves her huge fortune to her adopted son, who rejects his inheritance and wants nothing to do with it until about 10 years later, when his wife is interested in claiming their giant estate called Ashmore House and all of the money. So he gets sucked back into all of the family drama. If you like suspenseful or gothic tales, you have to read The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. And I'm sorry for that accent. These books and more are available by visiting us on the web at carmelclaylibrary.org or at our main library or West Branch location. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.